Hey guys, hopefully things are going well for you today. And yeah, I know, normally don't do this on a Sunday. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube or in our public group, welcome. The students, all fraternity have this one here with me. So, so with that being said, what I want to do is I kind of want to explain exactly like what's going on. Yes. Like what? Yeah, right. Totally. Like, so what is this about? So what happened is, you know what? Let me see. But she sent me a message that she had sent. It was, where'd it go?
Yeah, and you didn't even reply to me. So
I didn't?
specifically, just so you could do this.
Oh, that's right. That is correct.
It
I
was
did
like,
not.
Send long message, and he goes,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So the gist of it is that she had asked, she said, Dad, can you help me understand how I can best buy a used car in practical terms? Tangible steps I can take now so I can start planning for one. So that was the question that jumped this entire thing off, okay? So her goal is to buy a used car. Hopefully that makes sense, because I'm not your guy if you want to know about cars. I'm just not. However, if you want to talk about how to put yourself in a position to buy something, then I can help you, because she was asking for a plan. So with that, what happened was when she asked the question, ideas flooded my mind as normal. And if any of you have ever interacted with me, you know exactly what that's like. But what I also know is that a number of you, instead of just lease the properties, how can I start buying them, right? How can I get the money for the down payment? Or how can I get the money for, getting out of debt or buying a house for myself or buying another business or whatever it is. And the answer that I'm about to give her is the same for you. So I was like, you know what? No need to do this twice. And that's basically what happened here. It's like, you know what? I don't want to do this twice, so how can I do it one time? The dad version. The dad version. More importantly though, many of you know that CashFlowDiary started because I was concerned about documenting what I knew so that my children, they would have the information, they would have the understanding, they would know, and the students, you guys, have become that testing ground, if you will. So that tells me, when I see you guys go out there and duplicate and make something happen, it tells me that I'm on the right track. So, and that's basically, so it kind of fits if you think about it that way. It's like, oh yeah, he was about to teach his kids something. So, maybe I can sit in and listen. I don't know. That's kind of what we're doing today. And yes, for those of you in our public Facebook group and those of you on our student of some kind, then you'll be able to do that. Now, for those of you watching on Periscope and YouTube, sorry, I can only do so many things and monitor so much at once. So, and besides, the camera so that you guys can see. So we have a number of angles. We got lots of things going on over here. All right, so let's see. Hopefully this works out. All right, so you should be able to see the notepad at this particular moment in time. That's what I'm hoping for. Yes, and my hand, perfect. All right, so that's the goal there. And maybe, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do here. All right, got it. So now, although I know you're there, I'm gonna be talking to her. Okay, so that you figure that out. Okay,
Help.
so it's called cash flow management. That's really what it comes down to. So even though you're cash flow management, all right, the source of the income, how much income you have, all of those things don't matter, because when you manage cash flow, you should manage it on a percentage basis. Okay, so if I have $1 or $1 billion,
Yeah.
if I can do a percentage of $1 or $1 billion. What it comes down to is having percentages decided ahead of time. Kind of like when you contribute to church.
Yeah.
There's a percentage that's decided ahead of time. It doesn't matter if you have
$20.
college student money or parent money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just doesn't, the point is there's still a percentage, and because it's on a percentage, it's something that you can do as opposed to being a flat dollar amount.
Okay.
That's the first thing to think about. All right. The other thing is then you've got to decide. And here's the good part. You get to play the game. You make the rules. Meaning, you say, okay, Dad, I would like to have a car. I'd like to have a used car. You said that. That's great. Mm-hmm. But there's two sides to that. You got to decide what, called a goal, what by when.
Yeah.
But if you don't have both of those pieces, that's the thing. Okay. So car, by when. You're the only one who knows the answer.
I didn't really think that far.
Most people don't. That's very normal.
But I feel like I want to say ideally by this time, but I feel like...
By this time?
Okay, I'm saying in general, but like ideally by this time, but what if I'm like, I don't feel like I can make it to that time?
Okay, got it. So everybody struggles with when they say, well, I want to say by this time, and what happens if I don't do it?
Yeah.
When you are setting the goal, if you will, the by when part, what that determines is how intense and focused your actions need to be. So there's no such thing as an unrealistic goal.
Okay.
There's just unrealistic expectations. For example, if you said to me, okay, Dad, by when? Tomorrow. Cool. Proposal today aren't such that you'd be able to manifest a car tomorrow unless something miraculous happened. It doesn't mean it couldn't. Yeah, no. It doesn't mean it couldn't.
You know, it's always worth a shot. You just gotta keep going.
Doesn't mean, I got that. It doesn't mean it couldn't. It just means based upon the resources you have at this exact second, the likelihood of that happening that way or that quickly is not there. Okay?
Yeah.
So while yes, I know it feels like a commitment and I'm gonna let myself down and all blah, 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 what we're really trying to do or what you're really gauging for yourself is the quantity and quality of intense action that you need to take in order to make that happen. So it's more of a guideline than it is a written in stone thing. However, the other side is that oftentimes when we make a goal, we give ourselves too much time. Like when I first got started, I said, okay, well, I want to get to $10,000 a month.
Well, like now.
Correct. But I didn't know
that
I didn't know what I was capable of. And that's the same thing here for you. You haven't seen yourself. You haven't put yourself in a situation to where you said, okay, not only do I want a car in this amount of time period, I now believe I can do it because I am taking the appropriate actions that support that belief to make that happen. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But this is where it starts. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I go back to by when.
Okay. So
there's no wrong answer.
It feels weird. Okay, well, ideally it'd either be like my birthday or Christmas, like so November.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Or
it's a good motivator for me.
Okay, your birthday is a motivator. You do like
I love
plant. You
absolutely.
do. You definitely do. Okay, so now the next thing we have to do is let's also define the what a little bit clearer.
Okay.
When you say I want to purchase a used car, that could be a Teslas come in used cars that you would say be willing to spend up to. How much up to this dollar amount in your head do you think that is? There's no wrong answer.
It's not, I know it's not wrong, but to say, I don't know if it's reasonable.
No such thing as I knew where you're going. No such thing as unrealistic goal, just unrealistic expectation.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I say, I'm so scared to say. Okay, if I say 5,000.
Okay. Does that what?
Does that
5,000? Yeah, 5,000 makes sense. I don't really care what the number is. You could have said any number.
Okay.
The number isn't getting this number right. Isn't as important as getting a number out there. Because right now, the skill set required for you to do this by this date, that's way more important. Seeing you setting a goal that you determine, you make, you control, and then drawing out a plan to make that happen, that's important for you as you continue to move forward, because that's what happens.
Yeah,
thank you.
Nice.
How many, I didn't say the other one.
I
didn't say the other one. That's what's important. You choose, because this is it's like the same thing. So you choose how many pieces, and you get to choose all the items, how many items you want to sell, where you want to sell it.
Right.
You get to make all of those choices, but they should be based in context of some ultimate goal. So if it's $5,000 that you're planning to use for a car by November 12th or December 25th of this year, then great. Now we have some parameters to work with, right? The next thing becomes understanding what to do with your cash flow as it comes in, so that you can actually make this happen and see, keywords here is see progress towards the goal, because that's the thing that will throw everybody off of goals, is because you don't feel like
it feels like stuck, like you get in this like cycle of just
It is. That's exactly how it feels like too. I'm curious to see. I'm actually was wondering if anyone asked the question. I told you.
Ask
I told you
questions.
They don't have to. But I told you it's easy to forget that. It's easy to forget that that's there.
I can use my life as an example.
No doubt. Okay, so, and I bet you we're having a situation where Facebook's hiding the comments from me, because this has happened before. Yes, it happens all the time. It's really frustrating. Anyway, so this is the goal.
Okay.
Right here, 1 and 2.
Yes.
So now becomes what to do with your income. Because, on a percentage basis, it's not like, oh, wow, I can get there tomorrow because I make all this. That's not what's important. What's important is learning to manage physical cash on a percentage basis. Okay? Now, the basic way of doing this is with...
All the basics.
That's what we're doing. Basic. Nope, you got it. 100% basic. Is by coming up with a number of categories. Typically, those categories, and you're not going to like this first one, is taxes, because the tax man gets their money. Okay? And then...
Sad.
I know, right?
I've only done this 5 times.
What?
Pay taxes.
Okay.
5? Yeah,
4
times.
Then you have what we're going to call operating expenses, which is basically what you're living on.
Yes.
Day to day, making life work. Okay?
That's like my groceries.
Well,
right?
Look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you in a second.
Just have to fix.
So here's. Okay, this is your profit account. This account right here, the profit account, that's the magic. That's where it is this account that you're going to end up buying the car from. You/employee. The good/bad thing is you don't have to really, quote unquote, worry about necessarily figuring out what the percentage is that goes here, because the government figures that out for you. And they take it first.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yes.
So, for the sake of this conversation, let's just pretend that your tax account is 10% of your income, which is probably somewhere in there, thereabouts. Okay? Sure. I'm just guessing. But probably not. But okay, so the fact that you have no idea is one of the first things that you need to go find out.
Definitely.
Because what it comes down to is there is a way to control that expense. Yes, there are things you can do to control your taxable Etsy store thing more seriously. Some of the expenses that you are paying for today, right now you get no credit for. I'll give you an easy example. Even though you're not paying for your cell phone, but your cell phone would become a business expense. So instead of paying for it, so here's what happens for most people. They earn their they earn their income, they pay tax, and then they live on what's left.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what happens. However, so this is a W-2, most people. Make sense?
Okay.
You subtract your expenses.
Yeah.
Then you have profit, but hold on. Then you pay the taxes. You see how that works? Where the expense line is up here before the taxes. So let's put some numbers behind this. Let's pretend it's only $1,000, okay? But taxes are 10% here, okay? So now that's going to be $100. That means you had $900 left for expenses.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say it's $1,000, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But now let's say it's the same $900 for expenses. How much is left? Mm-hmm. And let's pretend that the tax rate was still the same. Your income versus working as an employee versus continuing to finish your crochet stuff online.
Yeah.
Earn income make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to go with the new page. So I'll redraw this income.
Okay.
Right. So this was tax. And then what did I put right there? Yes, profit was on the end, operating expenses and other content. Okay, got it. So, and this is profit. Yes, right. Okay. So, for the sake of conversation, we're going to call that 10%. Right? Now, that 10% is done, but we have to assign 100% of your income to something. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
So so here's how this works.
Yeah.
Your paycheck or revenue comes into this account. If we've only taken out 10%, there's still 90% that's left. So we've got to get that money out into its proper category.
Else, yeah.
Okay? So for the sake of this example, let's say that what we do is you decide, again, you get to make up the numbers, but let's just say we decide that we're going to put 20% of your income into the profit account. Okay? No,
I was like, don't cue me on
no,
that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So that leaves 70 to split between operating expenses and owner compensation. Now, as a W-2 employee, your income from that doesn't really have operating expenses per se. Well, you don't really worry about those, but you have them. Except, say it costs you money. Let's say if it actually costs you money to get to and from work.
Got it.
That would be because you need to do that in order to earn that income. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That would be like an operating expense for you to generate the revenue that the employer is going to give you. You would have to spend money to pay for the gas, the physical car, and all of those things.
Which is what I'm technically trying to
Which is what you're trying to get to.
Right now.
Okay?
Okay.
But for the sake of this conversation, that income from your W-2 is basically right there.
Okay.
So income comes in, 10%, just 10% goes to tax, 20% to profit. Now, at the same time, because I know you actually have another category.
Is it my stupid rent?
No, I haven't gotten to that. Your stupid rent is part of this owner pay. So this income, I know you like your contributions to church, etc.
Yeah.
So there's another 10%. So with that being the case, we're now down to 60.
Okay.
So here's what I'm saying.
I'm already stressed out. Okay.
I know that, but here's what I'm saying. If the only source of income you're going to have is your W-2 job, what you need to figure out how to do is to live on 60% of that income. That whatever that number is, so that you can begin to make. So now you have a focus. Does that make sense? Because if you know this, hey, this is my plan. 10% is going here, 10% is going here, 20% to profit. The rest I have to live on. Now all you have to do is begin focusing on this income number.
Okay.
Because you said, how much did you say? $5,000. So you wanted $5,000. But what we've got to figure out is how much total income do we need in order to get $5,000 into this profit account? And if we're doing 20%, what it comes down to is that we need to earn.
Completely.
We need to earn in your. So let me now state it a different way. So what
does make sense.
What this also means, it is a lot of zeros.
I know what it's saying. Okay.
That's what you're saying by the November 12th or December 25th. Mm-hmm. So between today and that time, you would need to earn $25,000. Okay, so let me break this down for you a different way. How many days it is between, and I'll use December 25th to be nice. How about the end of December 25th, 29. We'll even give you that. So that is 144 days. That's not freaking doesn't sound so bad anymore. Okay, so now that's $25,000 divided by 144. Which is another way of saying 100
per day.
Now, and so the question is, award me $173.62 per day. Q2 income is your only. How much?
Okay.
What is the times 8? Well, but it's 100. No, it's not 173, but it's. So we've got some more work to do. Shortfall of approximately $63 a day. So understand what just happened is your goal got a little bit. I'm going to make an assumption. I'm going to assume you're going to work out, which then gives you a different goal. But if you don't, you don't. But if you're working 8, so let me see, 8 hours times 4, so it's 20. So there's 26, 4. What is that? 5 months. There's 20 work days in a month, and we have 5 months of work days. Okay. So now those 100 work days at $110 a day, assuming you work 8-hour shifts. Do the math.
You're trying to kill me.
No, just trying to help you understand. At $110 a day is going to give you $11,000 total between now and then. So 11,000 minus 25, so we have a shortfall of 14,000. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we have a shortfall of $14,000. Now the question becomes, how? Because it's your choice. Mm-hmm. How do you want to make up for that shortfall? Or do you want to change your date? Or do you want to change the dollar amount of the vehicle or the savings goal? Mm-hmm. That's now the push and pull. Yeah. The push and pull is, okay, if I really want it by December 25th, what that means is that I were to make up for the $14,000 that I'll be short in order to purchase the car. Or I'm just going to wait till next summer, give myself more time. Or I'm going to go for a $2,500 car. Or maybe I don't really need a car. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those are all valid choices, but now you have a clear understanding of how to make the decisions. Because again, and this is why the date and the dollar amount didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know the impact of the date or the dollar amount until you run these numbers.
Yeah.
But now that you know that, it becomes, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this by December 25th, what could you? So now here's the question: what could you do? Let's pretend you're gonna keep everything the same.
Okay.
What could you do that could help you make up for the shortfall? What are some things?
So Etsy and that's like the main thing there.
Okay. What about the sign language job?
Oh yeah. I forgot.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Don't worry, everybody forgets at this point. This is why. Because everybody, I did that. They just have more commas than zeros. That's really the difference.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So sign language, like what? Like because I'm changing jobs, or because I'm trying to add that?
You could your choice. Because remember, this right now W-2 job is good for $11,000. Mm-hmm. Assuming you work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Right.
It's good for $11,000. You need more money, so you could either add it in addition or you could replace it. Either is fine. The point is you just need to make sure, is it helping you get closer to your $25,000 that you need to earn over the next 144 days? The choice is yours. There's no wrong, and again, no wrong answer whatsoever. What's that?
See, now the other 60%, right? Of
Yeah.
where I live, and that,
Yeah.
that is that taking care of everything that's supposed to be taken care of?
Probably not.
60%.
No, that's the other. See, that's the other side of that coin. Is when you finally do this, you realize that maybe I don't need Jack in the Box every day. I'm not saying you did, but I'm just saying, but maybe that's what you realized.
Right.
Because in order to make to live on 60% of what I make, that's what you're saying.
Yes.
And that's the other thing, by earning more money. Remember, 60% of this money, this $14,000 that you go earn, would suddenly flow into here. That's why you do it on percentage.
Now, other question.
Yep.
So here's my 60%.
Yeah.
And what if I use that to start putting it in here to invest into making like Etsy?
Correct.
Right.
Now that's exactly right. Now that's becoming a part of your operating expense, and now you have to choose where's that, you gotta cut something else in order to put the money in there. It doesn't just fall out of the sky.
Right.
That's the thing. It doesn't just fall out of the sky. But yes, you're thinking 100% like the entrepreneur now. It's like, okay, how can I get some money for materials? In your case, because it's a physical.
Yeah.
How do I get the money for the yarn or needles and patterns? Do you have to get those things? No. Okay. So the yarn and the needles, is there anything?
They're hooks, but yeah. That's okay. it's close. I can only ask for one per day, you know?
Okay, I got it. All right, so yarn and hooks.
Yes.
How do I, and I'm assuming there's like 40 different kinds of hooks. Yeah. And now we're talking, so now the question becomes, okay, what could I make? Like, meaning, what would the marketplace purchase that costs me, you, the least amount of money? Like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So is it a glove? Is it a mitten? Is it a blanket? Well, I don't know what it is, but whatever that is, whatever those items that have the fattest difference between what it costs you and what what it can actually sell for,
Right.
that's the product or products you would want to focus on. Maybe it's a scarf and mitten combo, or a sweater and I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever that is, that's where you get to go, okay, $40, but I can sell the other one for something else. Hey, sir. How are you? What's going on?
Good morning.
Did you see Mom? Yeah, she's in her room. What, you want to go lay back down? Because you look really tired.
You look so tired,
You
dude.
look really tired, dude.
He's like,
Yeah, he is beyond tired.
oh no.
Yeah, so. But that's really the question.
Okay, so still working because I can't necessarily operate as if I know how much money I'm gonna get.
Well, okay, let me ask you. You know how much you've sold stuff for in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, so of those things that you've sold in the past, which one earned you the most amount of money? Which one have you actually sold? That everything else being equal, which one have you sold, and how much did it cost you for that, so that you had the greatest amount of difference? I don't know what it was. I have no idea.
Probably. I mean, usually with like quickest turnaround would probably be my beanie.
The beanies? Okay, great, sir. All right, got it. So the beanies is something you could make, and I'm sure you could custom them enough, and I'm sure beanies are still popular with people, so you could sell those. So now the question, just one.
It would depend, but let's say 10 or
$10?
yeah.
Okay.
One.
Okay. So if you earned $10 on one beanie, and if all you did was beanies, how many beanies would we have to make?
Oh my gosh.
We'd have 1,400.
Yes.
We'd have to make 1,400 beanies. Okay. No.
Okay. No. This is good. Just let
breathe.
me cringe.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
So
going.
1,400 beanies divided by 144 days, because that's the same number of days, is 9.7. That's what I thought. I had a feeling, because how long does it take you to physically make a beanie?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay, got it. So this is it's 30 minutes for one beanie.
Yes.
And you'd have to make, let's just call it 10 a day. So that's 300 minutes divided by 60,
right,
which is basically 5 hours.
Okay, on my end of this, it feels very reasonable. And this is like
I know.
10.
That's my point.
But like, because I have other ones, but I'm like, so on my people are buying that many?
Correct. Okay, so now what you're saying is, all right, Dad, I have the time to make 5. I get that. I can go to Starbucks and do my thing. So now you're saying, who am I going to sell this stuff to?
Right. To where I'm making it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a cycle.
Got it. So let me ask you this question. Here's what it comes down to. In order to sell anything.
Sorry, you just.
What did I do?
TOO.
Okay.
Much better.
Got it.
I can focus.
Yeah, you good.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so what it comes down to though is right here. In order for you to sell a product, you must have someone to sell it to.
Right.
Okay. So right here, you're looking for the sales. Okay. Which is going to generate the dollars. Okay.
Yeah.
Before you get a sale, you have to have a prospect. Okay, which is another name for someone.
Oh.
Okay. And before you have a follower, what you have to do is you have to grab someone's attention. And to grab someone's attention today, I would strongly say, what are some ways people grab attention? I mean, obviously you could have a radio commercial, but I'm guessing that's not going to work for you.
Oh, no.
No. Okay, got it. How about a TV commercial?
With what money?
Yeah. And how much is social media? It's free.
Yeah.
And you grab people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the fun part.
Okay.
We know that you need to sell 1,400 beanies.
Mm-hmm.
You also know that not everyone that you see or talk to is going to buy a beanie.
Right.
Okay, let's just say, just for fun, let's just say that only 5% of the people that you talk to actually buy a beanie. Okay, so I'm going to take this 1,400 and now I'm going to divide that by 5%.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, that's true. Most businesses don't, especially when they start. They have to get to know that many people.
Yeah.
Okay? So, 5% of them to go, okay, yeah, I could do that. Does that make sense? Now, are there 28,000 people on the internet?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm just asking.
No, yeah.
It's got to be possible.
Right.
We're not talking about probable, we're talking about
right.
possible.
Okay.
Is it possible to get the attention of 28,000 people?
Sure.
Absolutely. Now, of the social media platforms that are out there, which ones do you think your customers?
Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. Got it. So now, your job is to be on Facebook and Instagram, getting the attention of 28,000 people. So let's break that down.
Okay.
28,000 people
Mm-hmm.
over 144 days
Yeah.
is 100, and the attention, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get the attention,
Yeah.
of 194 people. You 194 views
Mm-hmm.
per day
Mm-hmm.
between Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
So now the question becomes is what could you do? What must you do if you're trying to get the attention of anybody on Facebook and or Instagram?
Post.
You have to post, correct,
Okay.
and frequently.
Right. A lot and all the time.
Frequently.
Okay.
We'll go
Is
with
the
that.
Same thing?
Yeah, we'll go with that for now. Yeah, that's a good metric to start with. But yes, because when it says reach, what it means is it was in their feed.
Mm.
So you had a chance to get their attention. Whether you got their attention or not, two different things.
Okay.
But you had a chance.
That makes sense.
So, but yes,
Did I pay?
190.
Not like 194, but it was like 170.
Yes.
Something.
So
Like
but that's my point. My point is, it's possible, and now you see a path, right?
Yeah.
So let's summarize what we just decided. What this means. Here's what it comes down to: of 194 people every day for the next 144 days, assuming that only 5% of those people, purchase your beanie, you will have the $14,000 that you need, and you'll be working your job at the same time for 40 hours a week, 40 hours a week for that during that time period. Between those two things, yeah, you would be able to buy. You would have $5,000. Now, by the time you did all that, you still felt like. The reason you're saying that is because you're like, dude, that's a lot of time. So, so now what you're realizing is that your income to time ratio is low. That's what you just got really present to. Is that I don't earn a lot of income relative to the time. How can I create more value? And that's where systems and structure and instead of 800 or 2,000, because someone's just making beanies full time. That's all they're doing, right? And you're now able to provide more value to every hour. Thus, it takes you less time to get to your $14,000. So that's an issue of scale, being able to add more value to the marketplace. That's all. But 194 views. That you say to yourself, oh, well, that's not that bad. That's different. That's a different number than what it feels, right?
Yeah.
Just doesn't feel overwhelming. And because all of us, every person has goals that feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
100%.
All the time.
Every day.
Oof. Multiple times a day.
Exactly. So, yes. No, I was just checking over here because we're still having. Yeah, I'm pretty positive. We'll try. We'll see what happens. Don't want to end up.
I want to answer the question. Not that
Yep.
I'm
There
the
is
one
seriously
with
the.
knowledge.
Oh, what did I? Is the music still on? Oh no! Oh man!
I'm so sorry.
I didn't know it was on.
And you mentally said, "Turn this off."
I did.
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh!
I had no idea that it was still on. Well, that was awesome. And I couldn't. Yeah, that was a problem.
Oh no!
That was crazy.
Everyone. All right, do it all over again.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's gonna be like.
Oh shoot!
I know now. I couldn't see. Nope. Ah. Boo. Boo.
Oh no.
Boo. Why did? Well, it's all good. No, it's not on now.
Oh gosh.
I totally forgot. I was looking at it right there. I was like, okay, everything looks good. Blah blah blah. Wow. Yeah. Well, hey. It's a gift. It's a talent.
That's the fun part about going live.
No, that is not the fun part at all. All right. Anyway, Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. You got all the stuff, all the cams.
Oh, right.
Got nothing on my little phone, y'all.
Right. Totally. All day long.
Oh,
That's pretty funny. It's all good.
Mine's the one that survives.
That's just messed up. It's all good though. I don't care. So messed up. Alright, moving on. Can't go back. Moving on.
It's done.
It's done.
It's over.
It's done.
They have to do
Yep.
it. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
If you guys hop over. Oh, we didn't.
Like, why didn't somebody send me a message?
Like
to
text
say,
you?
yeah, right? Send me a text
like,
message.
hello?
Never mind. He Rob, thank you, but I just now got it too late. Yes.
I can't.
We just figured that
Are we still live?
out.
Can we see us?
Yeah.
Oh.
They can see us.
We're so sorry, everyone.
Yeah, we just figured that out.
No.
I forgot. I didn't mention.
You know, I think that's helpful too, though, because
What's that?
you know what? Even as like I continue to try to discover YouTube and work through channel stuff, like realizing that even further along, it's not going to be perfect. Like and then realizing like I don't need to have all these things. You know, like it's not going to prevent mistakes or I guess from happening all the time.
No, it's not. It's totally
They
not.
still love you.
Yeah, I know they still love me, but I meant to, because I had turned the music up to make sure that we could hear it and that the sound was happening here, remember?
Yeah.
And then I forgot to turn it back down.
Oh.
That was the problem. I forgot to turn it back down. Yeah, well, it's all good. So how's your day?
And I think
it did its job. You think what?
I was just gonna say it makes, now that like seeing it on paper, it makes more sense into even where I need to like adjust possibly, because I'm like, am I super willing to compromise in time? I don't know, but am I willing to put in more effort in income, or am I more willing to like compromise what like the profit end goal should be, like those categories?
Yeah, you have somewhat simple choices in the sense of, if I'm dead set, you know what, I do want to make sure I can buy something that's going to be safe enough, blah blah blah, 5,000. That's the number. I'm not willing to go below that number. Okay, cool. But now you have the framework to decide that or not, and then you can go, you know what, I would. My point is, now you have the framework for understanding how that decision can get made, because at the end of the day, if you do regardless, you know how much you're putting into your profit account to be able to get to the point to where, if you want to have 5,000, 10,000, 20, 100,000, you know how to go, all right, then that means if I'm going to get customers or get somebody's attention and I'm going to do it online, then that means I need more views per day, or I need more subscribers per day, or I've got to post 4 times a day instead of 3. I've got to do 2 podcasts a week, or whatever. You know, and that's really all all I do is figure that out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. So if I want to end up here, that means we need to do 2 YouTube videos a week and 2 podcasts a week and 3 how it works. And if I want to end up here, how many short-term rentals do we need, and how many what do we need to sell those for on a daily basis in order to make sure it's the same stuff, like same process. It's just different numbers, because once you start to have systems, people and systems together, you can bring more value to the hour. It's like when I wrote the book. It's one thing for me to sit here one-on-one, so you could say you doubled the value, and then, or if you do a live stream and actually get it right without messing up your audio, then get all those people. That's more value to the marketplace at the same time. So if all of those things are how you gain leverage to add more value to the marketplace with any one thing that you're doing. And you're experiencing a small little bit of that, and every parent or adult on the planet, or nearly every adult, what you just saw, what just happened here, is the exact same thing that they're dealing with, except they just have bigger numbers, because they have a W-2 job, and they have the same thing going on, trying mom's medical bill.
Right.
I want to pay for my wife's medical bill. That they have the exact same thing going on. And what ends up happening is by not developing a business like we were talking about with taxes right here.
Yeah.
That you end up with the equation not in your favor because you have to pay your taxes up here as opposed to after your expenses.
Yeah.
This is a very significant advantage. I mean,
that's crazy.
Being able, because we produce content, the cameras, microphone, all that stuff, I get to buy that first, then say, okay, because I bought the camera that I needed in order to produce income, Mr. IRS, I didn't make as much as you think I made.
Right.
Because I had to buy the camera. And I'm clearly
stuff.
in the business of producing content. That's a business expense. No. I'm buying a camera. It's very clear to see that that's there. So when, yes, 10% in taxes can feel like a lot, and it's most people's biggest expense that they've never learned to control or influence. Yeah. So before they even get started, 10, 20, 30% of their income is gone. And then they're trying to work with there, and it's tough until you can change it. That's why the income that you earn on Etsy and on your store would be advantage. But do you understand though?
Yes.
So that's what
makes complete sense. Like allowing the inverse relationship to be of benefit to you.
Correct. And because sometimes it's not about how much money you earn.
Right.
How much can you keep? And because what's the plan?
I'm just laughing at myself because college and how much money can I keep?
But part of the challenge is that you're still operating most of your income on the other side to where your taxes come out first. The majority of your income currently comes. That doesn't mean you can't have income in that category. I'm saying 100% of your income comes from that category.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder, even more so when you was $13.75 an hour. That's to ask yourself, how many beanies do I need to sell to do $25 an hour? That's a good question. I don't know that answer, but on an 8-hour day, that would be $200. Just think about that. That's $200. Already double.
Yeah.
Double what we're talking about. It's like, okay, so hold on. You're saying that's saying I'd have to make 20 beanies a day in order to earn that. That's really what that's saying. I don't know how much time or take, but if you had someone, so now it's just math and figuring out where's the leverage and what do I need to do in order to make that happen. And you get to decide the goals. It's a game you get to play.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to ever force you to have a car, but details. Because they definitely learned, don't turn up your music to test it and then forget to turn it back down.
See, here's the thing. Okay, no, that's not me. I'm like, if I feel like I can apply it to this thing that I've decided to make a goal that I really want, that I know I'll be motivated to work towards, then in the future, later on, it could be something else.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, that's the truth. It's the exact same process.
Yeah.
And then it's 20% of $100, and you're like, cool, $20.
Yeah.
But
it's
still $20 more than you had. It's $20 closer. You know those little thermometers when people
I just thought about it. It's like, I'd really like to see a thermometer.
Exactly. But now you like, okay, cool, I'm making progress. Whereas before you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it doesn't even feel like I'm getting anywhere. And that's what ends up happening, is that most times people don't have a way to have a thermometer. They don't know how to influence how much money is in that thermometer, or how close they can get to, or how fast they can get to that goal.
Yeah.
And you may surprise yourself. Because that's what, remember, what did I say? When I did this, I said $10,000 a month. I thought it was going to take 10 years. And that's, I got better. And I got better fast. And I got better fast. And because I got better fast, I started doing even more than what was needed. And started, instead of having a 5% close ratio started getting higher and higher and higher. That's why we were doing all those cash flow games.
Yeah.
Because what happened is I was like, oh my God, if we do these cash flow games, close ratio goes up. So it just got us there faster.
Yeah.
And that same thing would likely happen for you. You'd figure out little shortcuts that would make you more efficient. So that those 1,400 doesn't actually take 144 days. It may only take 90. And then you're like, cool, I'm at my goal and I still have 50 days to go.
No.
Let's just say yes.
Yeah.
And then, because this is what happens, you're here.
Yeah.
And it's taking me less time and I'm earning more money. Maybe I don't need a job. And that's literally my business. Is helping people to see that through various real estate strategies. But it's the same process. They just and many of them, $5,000 would also make a difference because they maybe have never saved that either. So don't think just because I'm in my 20s college student.
Yeah.
That's everybody else has already done. No. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not it either. But they're all learning to ask these exact same questions because that's the same questions I had to learn to ask. It's like how? Because I didn't know how, and there was no class at school.
Right. And I think it's so funny that I'm like, I've had this technically available to me, You
were experiencing a pain point. Either your boss and manager, and you don't want to be like, or you want there's just something you want, and that's what happens. Again, that's just means you're human. Here's what that looks like. And again, this happens for everybody. We're going to call this a line graph of your life. Okay? This is the scale. This is a -10. That's for people. You're there. And for the sake of, let me make this line a little bit smaller. So, you're living somewhere right now. This is called your reality on that scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
Your reality and what you desire, that's called pain. And while humans are typically motivated either by pain or pleasure, another way to look at this is gain. Let me just hit the wrong button. It's saving it now.
Noise.
No! Totally. Oh, sorry. I'm still thinking about the fact that they can buy me hairs. So, pain. So we're motivated either by pain, pleasure, or we're going to call it pain and gain. It's the same thing as saying like, 10 p.m. Saturday night. They drop everything.
Yes.
They solve the problem, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And that's here. When your reality is this close to your desire, there's not enough pain for you to move. There's just not. It just didn't hurt. That's why when you're like, well, I don't need to do anything. My dad's right there. Blah 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 blah. I'm good.
Right. Whatever.
Whatever it is. The pain versus the desire wasn't that big. The gap wasn't that big. Here's what is happening for you. You wanted that real life experience. Stop. Your words, not mine. I love it. But you wanted the real life experience.
Yeah.
Okay. First, your reality shifts, and sometimes you do.
I'm literally gonna cry. I can feel it.
Right?
Yes.
But let's assume in this case, what happened here is that the gap got much bigger.
Yeah.
And you know what you did? You responded into a reasonable expectation to where you're like, okay, it doesn't hurt so bad right now. And that's where you find yourself today.
Yeah.
It went south, and you're like, I don't like this. I don't care what I have to do. I'm getting on the phone because you were in pain, and you were going to do whatever it took to stop that pain. And that's what you did. But now you find yourself back here. Where reality is like, oh, okay, no big deal. But here's the other thing that happened. Now, what you want, what you're desiring, is over here now. And now, while yes, everything's okay, the gap of pain is now something you're beginning to feel again, and you're like, I gotta do something about this, and it's bugging you now. And that thought is now, you're like, there's gotta be a better way in your head.
Yeah.
And you're starting to go, well, what can I do about it? Now, sometimes, though, for some people, here's what happens. Their reality gets way worse, and what they desire goes much, and then their pain becomes ginormous. This is what happened to me. What I wanted got improved, and what we went through was absolutely crazy. Yeah. Now, what's interesting, though, is that if you draw a little bow right here, when you pull back that arrow and let it go, oftentimes you fly way past what you originally desired. You're stretched and pulled. You're like, that's it. I quit. I am over this. And then you do something about it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. You're now ready to do something about it. So just because you have proximity to the answer doesn't mean you're ready to hear it. Doesn't even mean you want it.
Right.
You don't even recognize you have a need for it.
Right.
Remember, people sat at Jesus' feet for a long time. Good to talk today, bro. I'm good. And then they won't go.
Yeah.
But this is no different. You're just asking, how do I do that when I don't really, because see, a car isn't I absolutely have to have it. It's, my life would be better if I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it feels like I don't know what to do. That's why it feels like, I don't know what to do. You do know what to do. You've always had access to a very clear plan of what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why I wanted to make sure you know how to sell something. This conversation right here is why. Because at some point, this is coming.
It like runs in my head.
But this is why. This is exactly why I had to keep saying, you can have whatever you want. Just develop a product or service and sell it. Yeah, I know. But this is why. Because I knew this would come someday. I didn't know when. I didn't know what it was going to be. But it would come. And here we are.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
No, yes.
Okay. Oh, here's a curious if only.
Thanks, Rob.
Alright. He's like, yeah, the music's loud. Great. I wish I would have seen that sooner. I really, really did.
An hour ago.
Alright, okay. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh, look. Lots of people watched and left. Because the music was loud. Oh, the Brian, John, Charles, Ignat, Rob. That was Rob that told us. Channing, Chris, what's going on? Hey, Alex, Steven, Rafa, what's going on? Hey, Mike. Mike, he's a rapper. He's been doing, and he's out in Colorado. Jill, Marcy, Jen. Oh, Jen. She's no, is that the right Jen? Yes. Have you ever watched, Marvel, the one with the young kids on it? The Marvel TV show.
I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna say no.
With the okay.
Yeah, to put it on to be invested in later.
Got it. What is it? It's one of the Marvel Runaways.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she works on she works on that show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's one of those don't get invested right now.
No, yeah. Oh, look. Ahmed. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, we got it, Michael. We fixed it. Michelle, John. Yep. Back. Yep. I wish I would have seen this earlier. I did. I thought it was Justice. Oh, it is Justice. All right. Anyway. So, but this is also why when you asked me the question, I was like, this is in person. It's not over the phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's stuff you need to see in order to get this and make it work.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day. And now you see why I would say, look, I just do a live stream. they need to know it too, because it's the same. I get the quote. I can buy 12 more rental properties. Okay, here's what you need. That's all.
Makes sense.
And then they end up in the same situation. Well, maybe I don't want 12. Maybe I just want 6.
Yeah, you know,
It's the same thing. So, anyway. You good?
Yes.
Yay.
It does help. I do understand.
Got it. So, for any of you who actually watched this entire thing, you're awesome.
You made it.
I know, right? Sorry about the audio. I turned it up. Who knows? Maybe the editor can fix it. I don't think so, but we'll find out.
You'd be so awesome.
And Julie, Katie,
Lifesaver.
that'd be great. And if you can, that's awesome. If you can't, I understand. So it is what it is. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Those of you inside our student group, you know that on Tuesdays, 4 p.m., I'll be there to answer here in the U.S. Those exactly.
Good to see ya.
Africa, yeah, well, you're not up yet. You will be soon. Anyway, you got more reservations. You didn't have too many crazy people because I know at the end of summer, well, it's the end of summer. So it is what it is. Either way it goes, I will see you guys on Tuesday and.